Hi, welcome to the first tutorial for Bootweak. The purpose of this tutorial is to learn navigation inside this rather filled up performance view. You can use both a mouse and a MIDI controller, separately or together. And the first thing to think about and kind of grasp the concept of on the screen is that the controls are all laid out in a 4x2 format. So these four buttons here correspond with these four buttons here on my controller, which it does match the style of a chord controller or Nocturne controller. And the purpose of that is because I had a chord controller, which I dearly love, and number two, there are a couple of instances where what the information in the first four controls matches or corresponds to the information in the lower row. So for example, here on the Ghost octave, the first four knobs select the octave / group of a sample you want remapped to your keyboard here, and the bottom four knobs select the sample on the key of the octave / group you've selected above. So it works together. And on a controller, the controller has access to 8 knobs and 8 buttons at a time. So right now you can see an outline here that tells you that the controller will select these buttons and these knobs. Okay, and anything you change on your screen with the mouse is also reflected on your controller. There's full bidirectional control. You'll see this knob here. If I turn it down and then all the way up, it understands it. And the buttons also you can see. Okay? And then to move what is active on your controller, you select from these 3 navigation buttons in the middle. The top button here selects between the 2 sides, group side on the left, and did I say groups? Ghost side on the left and group side on the right. Or you can select different groups for editing or multiple groups for editing, depending on the options you would want. Okay, and the middle button selects your option buttons, which are these 4 buttons and 4 buttons here, 8 buttons that are located in between the knobs on both sides. So the only time to get to the option buttons on the left side is when the ghost knob or ghost button is active, and then you get into that. Any other time you select on the options button, say from the right side, you'll get these options here. Okay, you can click in and out of the different buttons by either pressing them. You can click options to get out of it, or you can click the button that you want to go to, and that'll also take you out of it and let you know what focus you're on. So this bottom button has the bank. Click it twice and you'll have the main banks that you can choose from. Click into it and you've got sub banks, in this case modulation, strength for the modulation assignments made, and here are your modulators back here. You can do a quick jump to the other side by control clicking this button here, because normally if you click it you're just changing information here. Normally the way to get from one side to the other is you click on the upper button get to groups, click it again, get to ghost, and click down to get to presets. If you're on the preset section, pressing the preset button selector here takes you through the 4 different banks that you can choose from. So as I said, if you control click, you can quickly jump to the other side and back again. Now from the presets section, the top button takes you to the groups, because normally when you're working with presets you'll want to jump back and forth between the group controlling information and not your notes, which once you've set up tend to be done. Anyway, so that's a quick look. You can see controller, everything works together, buttons come on, lights come on, super nifty. And on the controller I've got it mapped. Your upper navigation button is here, back and forth. Your lower one is here. Your option button is here. You've got your control, mimics your control key on your keyboard here. So control jump, and the alt key, which is used for various things, is up here as well. So that's a semi-quick look at navigating inside of BlueTwig.